Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome in. Come on, come into this womb healing space. Come into this womb healing space. Come into this sanctuary. Come into the sacred lotus. Come on in. We're just getting started. Welcome in. We're going to be chatting about womb healing wisdom tonight. So if you are a woman, womb man, come on in. This is going to be for you. If you've had any sort of trauma or pain or discomfort or recent experiences related to your womb, related to your intimate relationships, related to your joy, to your pleasure, I want you to come on in because we're going to have this conversation right now. Okay? Come on in and share this with your friends. Share this with a woman in your life who could really benefit from some of this wisdom. Come on in. Welcome. Right now, as usual, I am live in 3 places. So we're live on TikTok, Inside the Sanctuary, and on Instagram. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have a conversation here in this open space, in this community space, about womb health and womb wisdom. And then what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the sanctuary, which is my closed space, a closed private community just for women. And we're going to dive deeper into the womb healing work. So here we're going to have the conversations, and then inside the sanctuary, we're going to actually go into the work of healing the womb. So we're going to do some sacred womb movements, some meditations, some chanting and some prayer, some specific, hand placements and therapeutic touch on ourselves, on our womb. So I'm going to show you all how to do that inside the sanctuary. But right now we're going to be chatting about what the purpose of womb healing is and why it's so important. So yes, come on in. Come on into the sanctuary. Come on in. This is a welcoming space. I love to see y'all in here. And share this with a woman in your life who needs to hear this. So let me know right now where you're joining from. I'd love to know where you're joining from. Are you based in Canada? Are you in the States? Are you somewhere else? I would love to know where y'all are joining from. So please let me know. Let me know where you guys are joining from. I love to see y'all. Thank you for the love. Welcome in. I know we have folks from New York in here. We have folks from Halifax in here. We have folks from Toronto in here. I love to see this. We have folks from Texas in here. Inside the sanctuary, we have folks from Europe, from Ethiopia. We have women from all around the world, from Mexico, from all over Canada, all over the States, all over the US. So I am just really, really grateful to see you guys in here. So welcome in. Let me know where you're joining from, and let's talk about this womb health, this womb wisdom. Why is this so important? If you have experienced any sort of womb trauma, womb devastation, womb pain, any pain around intimacy, this is going to be for you. Okay? Why is womb healing so important for us as women? So at the very, very core of it, the state of your life reflects the state of your womb. The state of your life reflects the state of your womb. If you feel like your life is chaotic, if you feel like it is hectic, if it's stressful, if it's triggering, if it's disorganized, if it's painful, if it's overbearing, that is all going to be a reflection of what your womb space is like. If you feel like your life is in tune, if you feel like it's abundant, if you feel like it's creative, if you feel like it's joyful, that's going to be a reflection of how you feel in your womb. And inside the sanctuary, we have a range of women and what women are going through. So we have women who are, just at the basic survival mode, whose lives feel like it's falling apart. They're lacking financial abundance. They're lacking, a success with intimate relationships. They're disconnected from their intuition. They feel like they can't tap into their creativity. and they're dealing with all of this sort of things. They're stuck in the survival mode, and that's because they're disconnected from their womb, right? And we have women on the spectrum. We have women who have evolved on their healing journey where we've moved out of survival mode into a place of joy and pleasure. And so their womb life reflects that. Their womb life is healthy. They've cured themselves from things like PMS, from cysts, from fibroids, from heavy menstrual bleeding, from different pains and traumas that have been stuck with them, the stories and the experiences that have been stuck with them that they've been holding on to for so long, right? So they've been able to release that and actually heal and move on in their life. So we have a wide range of women in there. And so right now I want you to think to yourself, like, what is the state of my womb? I want you to ask that to yourself. What is the state of my womb? Right? And even further, what is the state of my life? If you could describe your life in 3 words, what would those 3 words be? If you could describe your life right now in 3 words, what would that be? I want you to think about that to yourself. Is it calm? Is it chaotic? Is it abundant? Is it bountiful? Is it stressful? Is it disconnected? Is it creative? Is it joyful? Is it pleasureful? Is it painful? Is it traumatic? Is it, triggering you all the time? I want you to describe your life in 3 words to yourself, okay? And then whatever those 3 words are, I guarantee you that's going to be a reflection of what your womb life is like, what your womb health is like, okay? Chaotic, disconnected, lost. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I feel that, and I've felt that for a very long time. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your honesty. That is going to be a reflection of where your womb life is like. These 2 worlds are absolutely connected. They're absolutely connected. And we can go back into the ancient Kemetic history of why this is all the way that it is. However, I'm going to just explain to you guys high level why this work is important, why these 2 worlds are connected, and how we can work to healing it, okay? So why would anybody want to begin their womb healing journey, right? So for one, we've already discussed that the state of our womb reflects the state of our lives. So if we're feeling disconnected, chaotic, painful, triggered, traumatic, that is going to be directly a reflection of what's going on in the womb. So within the womb, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to detoxify. We're going to want to heal from pain and trauma. And we're going to want to reconnect with our womb wisdom. And once we're able to sort that out, start the healing process in that, we're going to notice how other things in our life fall into place. Our relationships fall into place, our opportunities fall into place, our finances fall into place. You're going to really see how this is connected. Okay? So I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time you've spoken to your womb? When was the last time you really sat and spoke to your womb, really reconnected with your womb? So many of us don't even know where our womb is. It's not your abdomen. It's not your vagina. It is that space between your pelvis, your pubic bone, and your belly button. So it's underneath your belly button. That's where your womb space is. This is where all of our life force energy as women, this is where it comes from. This is where we hold babies. This is where we hold creativity, abundance. This is where we birth everything from. This is the seat of our life, the seat of our spirituality, the seat of our intuition. It's this womb space, okay? So when was the last time you actually spoke to your womb? Your womb has a voice. Your womb speaks to you. But what has happened over time is that we've become disconnected from our womb. We've become disconnected from our intuition, due to social conditioning, due to cultural conditioning, due to patriarchal systems, colonial systems, oppression, racism, all the systemic injustices. At the very, very root of it, has disconnected us women from our intuition. We're forced to, do things that don't align. We're forced to show up where we don't feel like we want to show up. We're forced to tolerate things that we don't want to tolerate, just to keep the peace, just to, be soft, just to be in our feminine, just to be, an agreeable, nice woman, right? we've had to dishonor ourselves and quiet our intuition for such a long time that now we're really disconnected from what our womb, our spiritual center, our intuition has been telling us. And so what we need to start to do is reconnect to that wisdom, right? We need to detoxify. We need to rid ourselves of the pain. We need to rid ourselves of the traumas, of the conditioning, so that we can have clarity and have that stillness and that space to really listen to what our womb is telling us, okay? The words healer and woman are actually synonymous, right? So as women, right, I said our womb is our spiritual center. This is where our intuition is. As women, we are also healers. So we have the power to heal the world. We have the power to heal our families, to heal our communities. But unless we begin with actually healing ourselves and healing our womb, we are going to spill our pain and our trauma into everything that we touch, right? We're going to maybe we're not actually hurting people, but we're going to end up self-sabotaging. Okay, so either you're going to show up in your situations in life as, someone who is healed, or you're going to show up as someone who's hurting others or hurting yourself, right? And that's also going to be reflected in how your womb health is, right? But if you are healed in that space, you're going to show up, you're going to be able to heal people in your relationships, heal people in your environments, heal your families. And this is the gift, again, that women have because of our womb, because this is our spiritual center. This is where intuition comes from. Again, this is where we birth life, or we birth babies. This is how we create the world, right? We create everything that you see in nature. It comes from the womb, comes from the creatress. So we have the power to heal, but unless we heal ourselves first, unless we can really tune in to what the message is, to what our intuition is telling us, how it's guiding us, how it's telling us to operate in a certain situation, in a certain relationship, right? If we're not able to tune in and listen, we are going to create more havoc in other people and ourselves. And so when we begin to release the pain, when we begin to listen and work through some of the triggers, right? Our triggers come from our womb. Like anytime we're feeling uneasy, unsettled, anytime someone makes us angry, we're going to feel that in the womb. Like women, if we actually pay attention to where the feelings come from when we're triggered, it's coming from the womb space. So if someone has offended you, disrespected you, crossed a boundary, you're gonna feel it in your womb space, right? And of course, we want to be agreeable, and we don't want to be selfish, and we want to make sure that we're creating space for people as women. That's one of our gifts. We create space to make people feel comfortable, but not at the price of dishonoring ourselves. So when we feel triggered, when we notice that these feelings are coming up, pay attention to what the womb is telling you. Pay attention to what the womb is telling you. And a lot of times our triggers are based on our childhood wounds. They're based on things that we've experienced in the past pain, past traumas, past hurt from way, way, way back in childhood. Right? And any trigger that we experience now in life is a reflection of a trigger that is something that's happened to us in childhood. And if we're not mindful, we will blame ourselves for the pain, for the trigger, right? We'll be like, why can't I get over this? We'll create so much shame around it. And if we're not blaming ourselves, we're going to blame the other person. Like, why can't I change you? Why can't I, heal you? Why can't you do better? Why are you behaving this way, right? These are all wounds. These are all triggers, and they're coming from an unhealed womb. A healed womb is going to view a trigger and be like, okay, you know what, this, I accept them, I accept this thing for what it is, I realize that this is my thing, but I'm not going to sit here and disrespect or dishonor myself any further, right? And an even enlightened womb, when we hit our, sacred lotus status, the Nefer Atum, which is the highest level of enlightenment as women, we get our lotus status reinstated, there's not even going to be a trigger to pull, because we would have already done all the work, right? We would have already healed that space, cleared that space, cleansed that space, so that there are no more triggers left to pull, right? And that is the goal. The goal is to get into this enlightened place, have our sacred lotus reinstated so that we are not, constantly being triggered and constantly feeling disconnected, right? And once we begin to do this work, you're going to see how many things fall into place. When we're able to clear out those triggers, those pains, those past traumas from our womb space, you're going to actually make more space for abundance to flow in, right? For creativity to flow in. For women, our financial abundance is directly related to our creativity. Okay, so if you're feeling a block in creativity, you're likely feeling a block in your finances, your ability to generate income. And if you're feeling a block in your ability to generate income, you're likely blocked in your creativity. Right? So we want to heal that. We want to create that space, move that pain and that trauma and that hurt out so we can actually create the space for this deep womb healing to take place. Okay. So you're going to notice a change in your finances. You're going to notice a change in your creativity. You're going to notice a change in your joy and in your pleasure, your ability to experience joy and pleasure, not just be an autopilot, not just be in your head knowledge space, but to actually feel and experience what deep pleasure looks like, what it actually feels like, right? And then you're going to experience what is known as ma'at. So this is to have your heart as light as a feather, right? Because most of us are carrying around so much guilt, so much shame, so much heaviness, right? This is all, this is all pain. This is all trauma, right? And who's not tired of carrying this heaviness around? Like who is not tired of carrying this around? Nobody. We're all tired of carrying this. We're tired of having our hearts heavy, having our shoulders heavy, having our minds heavy from all of the things that we're carrying in our lives, right? So like I said, the state of your womb reflects the state of your health. And as you ascend, as we go through this journey, you're going to feel your sacred lotus status being reinstated. So you're going to have that cleansing, you're going to have that clarity, you're going to be fully changed, fully charged, right? And so people ask, like, how do we begin that journey of womb healing, right? So the first thing is to reconnect with your womb. Ask your womb right now. Ask, like, if your womb could talk to you right now, what would your womb say? If your womb could talk to you right now, what would your womb say? Would it say, I've been disconnected for a while, I don't know who I am, I feel chaotic? Or can you even hear the voice of your womb, right? Ask your womb right now. Ask it. Like, if your womb could talk to you right now, what would your womb say? I want you to reflect on that. Grab a journal, grab a pen, or think about it later tonight, just for a few moments. What would your womb say if she could talk to you? Okay. So through certain practices, right, such as diet, such as movement. So we've been doing kidney liver flushes every morning now, right? We're fasting at certain points of the day. We're also doing sacred movements. So we're moving our bodies, making sure we're not staying stagnant. We're doing our prayers, we're doing our chanting. We're also doing our self-care rituals. So we're making sure that we beautify ourselves, we reconnect with our body. And there's a lot of deep spiritual work that's involved. So there's a lot of journaling, a lot of meditation, and a lot of contemplation, a lot of reading, because there's the knowledge piece of it. There's that awareness of what is actually happening to my body, like what has been going on, like to actually reconnect with your mind, reconnect with your past, reconnect with certain events that have happened in your life, whether it is abuse, whether it is trauma, whether it's toxic relationships, right? When was the last time you actually sat and worked through that stuff, right? That's all buried in your womb. Those experiences are buried in your womb, and how you responded to it is buried in your womb. How your loved ones responded to these things is buried in your womb. How your body physically, how you respond to these things, it's buried in your womb. When have you actually given yourself the time to to bring that to the surface, right? Womb healing is about purging and purifying, purging and purifying. There's a lot of this cyclical habits that we're doing. We're purging and we're purifying. So lately, through this work, you'll see candles and incense being burned through our house, because smoke and fire is one of the best ways for us to purify ourselves, right? Burning a candle, burning some incense, burning some sage, so that clears out our system, that clears out our body. But yeah, inside the sanctuary, we are really getting deep into the womb healing work, right? And there's this concept that I want to share with you guys today around the sacred clock. And so there are certain actions that we take as part of our womb healing journey at certain times of the day. So mornings, there's certain rituals that we have to do, certain things we have to eat, certain meditations we have to do. In the middle of the day, there's certain things, activities that we have to do. The evenings, there's certain things that we have to do. And nighttime, there's certain things that we have to do. So early morning, we are getting up at the crack of dawn between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. and we're praying and we're chanting and we're journaling. At this point in time, we're reconnecting with our womb, because this is when our third eye is the most open, okay? This is when our melanin shines the brightest. This is when we're in our most meditative state. So this is the perfect time for us to get into a deep prayer, to call in the things that we want. So getting up at dawn, that's really the way to set your day up for a beautiful, blessed day, is to get up early, to begin your prayers and your meditations and reconnect with your womb that early. Like, what do you need today? How are you feeling today? Sorting out the things of yesterday and leaving them there and beginning this day fresh and anew, right? And then we have our midday, which is noon, which is unfortunately, it doesn't really work with our 9-to-5 jobs. And this is another reason why we're so disconnected from our womb and our womb wisdom. But midday is our most productive day. So that morning time until midday, we should still be in a praying, meditative state. So we should be dancing, we should be doing our sacred movements, our yoga, going for walks, meditating, journaling. That morning time is really such a powerful time for us to cultivate our life energy and to really start our day with womb wisdom, right? Reconnecting with what our womb wants and what our womb desires. And so that's the beginning of the day. Noontime, it's the highest point. This is when we should be working, when we're creating, when we're meeting deadlines, doing the work. More productive energy. It's when the sun is in the highest point of the sky. It's our most energetic point of the day. As part of the sacred clock. In the evenings from 4 to 6, that's when we are pouring back into ourselves, okay? This is the time for contemplation, reflection. Sorry, not 4 to 6, 4 to 8. So we are doing our baths, we are reflecting on the day, we're doing our hair, we're doing our skincare, Epsom salts. Like, that's the time of day as part of our natural rhythm, as part of our natural sacred clock, that we get back into beautifying ourselves. We pour back into ourselves. We rest, right? And then after that, ladies, we should not be going to bed past 10 p.m. as part of sacred clock and womb healing. 10 p.m., that's, lights out, right? This is when our bodies are in our healing mode and our rejuvenation mode. And particularly if you're doing any sort of healing work, you need that time to rest. You need that time to rejuvenate in order to be restored and to continue the work without burning yourself out, right? And each time of the day, we honor a specific Netaru, which is an aspect of the divine, an aspect of God, whether it's a feminine or masculine aspect. It's also, there's certain principles associated with it. So part of the sacred clock, that's really going to, being in tune with it is really going to support your womb healing as well. Okay. So right now, what we're doing inside the sanctuary is we are going through this womb healing series. So we're practicing different points of the day. Like, what are we supposed to do? What are we reflecting on? What are the questions we ask ourselves? What are the meditations that we're focusing on, right? Whether it's a meditation on Newt, so that's the sky mother who, if you've ever had a mother wound, if you didn't get any nurturing, as much nurturing as you needed, if you were maybe sensitive in the most beautiful way, but that wasn't nurtured as a child, Mother Newt is the one who embraces you, right? She's that feminine divine grandmother, that divine mother, right? So we go into meditating and reflecting on her at certain times of the day. Then we go into, Het Haru at certain times of the day. Het Haru is beauty, the goddess of beautification, of love, of pleasure, right? So, that's that 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We dive into her. We get into our sensuality, right? We reconnect with our body and what feels good and our pleasure. And then, midpoint of the day, we're really getting into the work, right? What is the work? That is really diving into what are the past traumas? What have I experienced? How has my body held onto this? How is this manifesting in my life? And so in the sanctuary right now, we are going through this womb healing phase. And so tonight, what we're doing after this, we are live in the sanctuary. I'm going to turn off the lives on TikTok and Instagram, and then we're going to get right into some deep womb healing this evening, right? So this is the hours of Het Haru. So we're going to move, we're going to meditate, we're going to chant, and then we're going to get into our beautification processes. So we're going to be oiling our skin, getting into the bath, doing our hair, listening to that really soothing music, and really getting ourselves prepared for the nighttime, which is our time to heal and to rejuvenate on this journey. So if you are curious, right, I've shared a lot about what the benefits of womb healing is and why it's important. But if you're curious about how do you actually get into womb healing, I invite you into the sanctuary, because we are on that journey now. It's not too late. It's never too late. You get 7 days for free in there, and we're really getting into it. We're really releasing and rediscovering and letting things go for the final time, because a lot of us we hold on to it, right? We want to hold on to the pain, and we think that we've let it go, but we're still holding on to so much pain and so much trauma, right? And we feel like it's part of our identity, but this is your invitation to let it go, right? There is divine healing available to you, for you, right? You want to get your lotus status reinstated, be crowned, be enlightened, be embodied, and really change the outcome of your life through changing what the internal world is looking like, changing what the womb is looking like. So thank you all for joining. Sanctuary ladies, I'm going to stay on for you inside the sanctuary. Thank you guys for watching Instagram and TikTok, and I hope that we see you again next week. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM, and I love you all. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful evening. Ciao.